I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the results of the 2024 Iowa Caucus, which is the very first primary event of the 2024 presidential election cycle. Donald Trump destroyed everyone in this race, and it wasn't close. He defeated the next highest person, Ron DeSantis, by 29.8 points, might as well say 30 points. This is the largest margin of victory ever at the Iowa Caucus. So I have a few questions. First of all, why is anybody else running? Why? You know what? I'll kind of answer that with an allegation maybe, or just, I don't know, a random thought that popped in my mind just now. There have been hundreds of millions of dollars spent on these people who have no chance of becoming the president at all. 100 million or so for Nikki Haley, 200 million or so for Ron DeSantis. Now, I'm not quite sure how much Vivek spent or had spent on him, but he went ahead and dropped out anyway, which is a good thing. We'll get to his statement in a minute, but that's a good thing. He did well for who he is. A relative, I don't want to say nobody, but he was unknown. That's probably the best way to say it. I don't want to say he's a nobody. I like him. I like what he was able to do, coming from no political experience, no background, just starting voting. He did pretty well for where he came from. But Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina, former UN ambassador, coming in third. You see what she said at the very beginning, talking about, oh, it's a two-man race. Well, but between who? Because last I checked, Miss Haley, as I showed in the clip, you came in number 3. Now, let's go ahead and get into the actual results right here. You see what's going on, okay? Donald Trump, 51%, 20 delegates. Nobody's even close. Look at DeSantis, 21.2%. Like I said, 29.8, you might as well say 30. Nikki Haley coming in number 3, 19.1. Vivek, number 4, 7.7. This is a pretty good showing for Vivek. I'm impressed by him coming from nothing, basically, to coming number 4 in the Iowa Caucus. That's pretty impressive. But again, nobody is even close to Donald Trump. So it makes you kind of think about everything, the debates, all of that. What's the point in having those? He was right to boycott them. It makes you think about all of that, okay? And Trump won Iowa by a record 30-point margin, denying, quote-unquote, clear momentum to DeSantis or Haley heading into New Hampshire, all right? So, I mean, again, just go ahead and make Trump a nominee and let's move forward. All this rigmarole is, it might just be a way to raise money. Now, we have clips. We have DeSantis talking about, oh, they called it too early. It's like, my man, really, come on. Now, let's hear from Trump first. Then we're going to get through all of them. And, of course, all the links will be in the box or in the bio. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time. And most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout. What a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon.
So, very good message of unity, absolutely. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but Trump won every county, all 99 counties in Iowa, until one person came in and voted for Nikki Haley after it was announced that he won all the counties. I think that's how that worked. So he won all the counties except for one, but Nikki Haley still came in third. So what's going on with that? We'll keep on moving here. All right. Now, here is DeSantis talking about they threw everything with a kitchen sink at us, all this money. Let's hear from him.
They threw everything but the kitchen sink at us.
Ron DeSantis did not win one county in Iowa. Nobody really won any counties in Iowa except for Nikki Haley won one. But I don't see, there's no path forward for anyone else other than Trump.
We love you too. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at us. They spent almost $50 million attacking us. No one's faced that much all the way just through Iowa. The media was against us. They were writing our obituary months ago. They even called the election before people even got a chance to vote.
Now, see, here we go with this whole, oh, it's rigged and all this. He's saying that the media called Iowa before people had a chance to vote. People were in line getting ready to vote, and they went ahead and called Iowa. But listen, DeSantis, hear me very well. This race was over before you went there, and everybody knows it, and it's not even a thing to really discuss, okay? You didn't win one county out of all 99 in the state. That's like me complaining about them calling a foot race between me and Usain Bolt. Okay, I've not reached finish line yet. I'm still running, but Usain Bolt has been crossed the finish line, and they're pouring champagne on his forehead. Why must they wait for me to cross when he's already completed? I don't understand. So that's just really a dumb thing to say, in my humble opinion. And DeSantis had a lot of momentum coming into the race. He was doing pretty well, but his campaign has been run very poorly, and I don't know who to blame. I don't understand. Was it sabotage from the inside? I have no idea. Now let's hear from Vivek, who has dropped out graciously. And as I said in my video about Trump and Vivek and a little beef or whatever, I was like, that's nothing. It's just competition. And I think at the end of it, they'll get along, they'll work together, and everything will be just fine. So let's watch this.
As of this moment, we are going to suspend this presidential campaign. And this is going to have to be, there is no path for me to be the next president absent things that we don't want to see happen in this country. As I've said since the beginning, there are two America First candidates in this race. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory. And now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country. And so I'm going to ask you to follow me in taking our America First movement to the next level. It did not begin in 2016. It began in 1776.
So there you have it. He has dropped out and endorsed President Trump. All right. So good on him. Good campaign. Give it the old college try, but it didn't work out. Now let's hear from MS13 DNC.
New Hampshire.
And I think to the point that you made, Steph, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. She's still a brown lady that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant and which accepts the notion that you can say immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. She's
okay. These wigs, Joy Ann Reid, these wigs are out of control. Are you trolling? This looks like one of those British court wigs they wear in the courtroom still from the 1500s. This is ridiculous. But brown lady, Nikki Haley, is that your reasoning why she lost? Is that the reasoning why she lost? Well, why did Ron DeSantis lose? Why did Vivek lose? Why not use that excuse for him? Because he looks like more of a brown person, and his name, Vivek Ramaswamy. He looks more like Indian. Nikki Haley could pass for white. Why would you bring this up? What type of sense are you making? This network is a parody of itself at this point, but let's let her finish.
getting, birthered by Donald Trump. And I don't care how much the donor class likes her, which will ramp up a lot, the better she does in New Hampshire. So it's still a challenge. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party with Donald Trump still around. I can't picture it happening. Maybe it could happen. Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to whitey.
Look at the numbers. I mean, white, black, it don't matter. Look at the numbers. Come on, what are we talking about here? Nikki Haley and DeSantis are neck and neck. aside from Trump, they're doing the same numbers. All right. So there you have it. That's what's happening with the 2024 Iowa caucus. Trump, of course, dominated, and there was never a question of whether he was going to dominate or not. It was just by how much. And we saw a record 30-point margin. Nobody's even close. And it's going to continue to be that same way up until Trump becomes the official nominee. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Are you surprised at any of the results from the Iowa caucus? Are you surprised that Vivek dropped out? Are you surprised Nikki Haley's still hanging in there? Ron DeSantis? How you feel about him talking about the race was called too early? Again, you got beat by 30 points, my man. You got beat by a record, an all-time record. You got beat by Mr. DeSantis. So I don't understand your opinion here making any sense. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think this was very predictable. We all knew that Trump was by far and away the leader here. Nobody's even close at all. DeSantis had a lot of momentum coming into the actual campaign and lost a lot of it. But even if he maintained the momentum, there was still nobody that was going to catch Trump. All that we're talking about now is by how much will you lose to Trump leading up to the eventual nomination of Trump to be the 2024 GOP presidential nominee. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.